and in this video I'll be looking beneath the neon and the surrounding area. Let's see what I can find. Let's start with who owns the land. It's all federal.
Town of specially chosen types of buildings with dummies inside them has been erected to study survival chances in an atomic explosion. Called Doom Town, the buildings and their contents will test the effect of the bomb at distances ranging from 1 to 2 miles. The extent to which food will be contaminated by radioactivity will also be studied, along with the effect of blast on communications.
And yes, I know it's fake. So we just have obviously Doom Town. It's just crazy to believe that this site is the part of the Nevada test site, and it's only about 72 miles. So I'm just showing you on the map here where it is. It's Las Vegas, and just further down you can quite see the Nevada site area. That is where supposedly they let off a nuclear blast. So I just did it. I just measured it for you guys. Obviously this is a slightly different angle, but it's roughly about 71.69 miles away. Now we know nuclear bombs are fake, but if they were trying to keep up the persona, as you've seen, Las Vegas is located 72 miles away from a supposed nuclear test site. It just seems to me like one big laboratory is Las Vegas. It's even appeared in films, predictive program, Doomtown. It's been in Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. Indiana Jones gets shot through the air in an old-fashioned refrigerator. So predictive programming at its best. So just want to include this just to show you some of the things around the area. Obviously, I cannot miss out Area 51 and Groom Lake, if I remember, without mentioning, like I said, Area 51. Secret base that's easily found on Google Maps. Obviously it's rumoured to be a UFO base, re-engineering. Who actually knows what's actually going on there? Is it just a site to take away attention from other sites, which I personally believe, but you know what I mean, I just thought I'd still include it in this little bit about Las Vegas, because I'm going to be going into the etymology of the name and a few things I found. But just look, here you go, Area 51, and it's 82.62 miles away from Las Vegas. So again, so close to Las Vegas. There you go. I just did it straight to the middle, to the heart. So if in kilometers for anyone, it's 132 kilometers. So can you see you have the test site, and I'll show everything else if I can get into it and remember what is in Nevada. So you've got Area 51, and you have the test area for the so-called nuclear bomb. Just thought it was interesting to, remind us what's actually in Nevada. Right guys, so let's get to it. Right, so we know Las Vegas is one of its names is Sin City. So that always got me, and it's always been in the back of my mind. Now for some reason, a few weeks ago, I was sitting there and Las Vegas just come into my head. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a look in what Las Vegas means. I'm going to go on Google Maps. I'm going to have a look at a few things that's around that area. And I'll obviously include them today and talk about it today. But I always like to use Latin and Latin converter, because Latin is known as the dead language. It's known as the God's language, angelic language. It's also known as the demonic language. It's known as so much, Pig, Latin, you name it. It's said, you know, be the reason for it. Now, Latin is also, guess who is the first king of Latin, or Latium, was none other than Janus. So you could say, you know, it's his language, and he is one of the chief gods of messenger gods and everything else. I'm not going to get into what he does because I'll be here for weeks again, but you can see why I like to use it. So I thought, you know what, let's break Las Vegas down. So I typed in Las, it came back as Lassos, meaning tired. It sounds a bit like lasso, tied together, a lasso. So that got me, what they tied or tired of being in. So put in Vegas and it came back as pro quo. Now we've heard that so many times, even in our modern English language. Normally it's tied together with the word quid pro quo. Now quid pro quo is Latin for something, describing an agreement between two or more parties in which there is a reciprocal exchange of goods and services. So if you're talking about the government or the mobsters or whatever from Las Vegas's old past, have they entered into an agreement with a god, lowercase, whatever you want to look at, a demon, whatever. I'm going to get into that because, like I said, I'm not going to say too much now. But they've entered into a deal, an agreement, selling something for something. Is it money, wealth, power, luck? All the things that Las Vegas is famed for, but it also has a darker past. So this is what intrigued me straight away and got me. They've entered into a ritual, an agreement with a god. Now, that if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. But if you're like me, you will. So you can say Las Vegas means the tired of a deal, of an agreement. That's what Las Vegas basically means. They're tired of an agreement or whatever they are exchanging, and that's what Las Vegas means. So hopefully you'll enjoy what's coming up. I'm thoroughly enjoying making this. It's refreshing, and people were just asking in the comments, was this video on Las Vegas, Paul? So I had to make it. I wasn't planning on it because, like I said, it was just a brief post, but I'm glad I did because I found something so interesting, and wow, it answers a lot. So in a video I've not long done, circuit board cities, arches, oh my, or something like that. And as you can see above, a motherboard, circuit board, and how it resembles Las Vegas. I talked about it briefly in the video amongst other things. And I showed you these pictures as an example. Websites, other YouTube channels talk about this. It's nothing new. Well, in that video I brought a new theory in about and, not, and or gates of being different types of energy being harnessed from us. Now, isn't it funny that Sin City, Las Vegas, is entering into an agreement? Is it our energy, our souls being drained? Remember Percy Jackson, they eat the lotus flower, they forget, and people are end up living in the casino for years and years. Well, just look at this for an example. Downtown, near the Strat, they're supposed to be building new arches. Just look at some of the lingo they're using. City of Las Vegas arch to be built by the Strat. Tourist attraction will draw people downtown. It's a bit funny wording, isn't it? Drawing, is it energy? Hoping to lure tourists downtown. New arch will serve as a giant welcome sign. Sounds a bit like Percy Jackson when it's luring people into the casino, keeping them drugged, keeping them the energy drawing off. Is this what's happening in Las Vegas? I just thought I'd add that little bit to see what you guys think. So this video is not meant to be a definitive Las Vegas video showing you everything about Las Vegas and in depth. It's not. It's just my style and my take on things with the information that I've come across. So it was funny when I was just researching for this, asking what's before Las Vegas, and just look at the actual search results, 666. I thought, you know what, I can't believe that. So anyway, we're looking at old pictures of what Las Vegas was and what it became. Now this is where we get to it. Las Vegas was founded on May the 15th, 1905, when 110 acres of land, between certain streets. Now, 11, that is 110 acres, is 11 Gateway, Janus. I've showed you this so many times. But look at the date, May the 15th. Now, this stuck in my head straight away because obviously I've done enough research on Rome and various other things. And that date stood out. And I was like, no way. Now, what it represents is Mercury, Mercurialia, the festival of Mercury, or Hermes, and I've showed you that is linked to Janus, was the god of merchants and commerce. On May the 15th, merchants would sprinkle their heads, their ships and merchandise, and their businesses with water taken from the well at Porto Capana. Guys, you know what Las Vegas is. I've just basically described it, and what I'm going to show you now is actually what Mercury represents in Mercury's name, and it's crazy. It's just what Las Vegas is. So the same day that Las Vegas was found on May the 15th, is it a coincidence that it's Mercurialia or for Mercury? People think, well, I've not seen enough evidence yet, Paul, to see what relevance it is to it. Well, what if I could say Mercury is the god of financial gain? Doesn't sound like Las Vegas. Commerce, eloquence, messages, communication, including divination or divination, travellers, boundaries, luck, trickery. No, I don't sound like Vegas, that. And thieves. He also serves as the guide of the souls to the underworld. Now, does that sound more like Las Vegas, city of sin, where people go to change their luck, sell the soul to the devil? You can see where I'm going with this and the relevance to Mercury. Did the founders go into a deal, as the name states, with Mercury or the god behind Mercury? Who knows? I just thought I'd put that with you and actually just show you the wow in that itself. So this is a town. It was made for the staff and all the services, all the people behind the atomic testing that I showed you before, Doomtown, etc. All that. Now, you've seen the video so far. Have a guess. Have a guess what its name is. Now, I'll wait a minute. So I'm whistling there. Just have a little guess. Come on. You know you want to say it. Have a guess at the name of this town. Here you go, guys. Here's the name of its town. Mercury, Nevada. They actually named it after Mercury. Is that a coincidence? As you know, I'm not into believing coincidences anymore, but you telling me I've tied the founding of the city to Mercury itself, and all the testing to the nuclear bomb and all that. I know it's fake and all that, but the closed town that they made for the staff, they named it Mercury. Now you can start seeing the picture is growing on this. So Mercury is god of communication, a messenger god. Let's have a think of a newspaper that they would have in Las Vegas. Let me think. Oh, yep. The Mercury News. It's finished now because it's combined with another newspaper. But there are more Mercury connections. Another link to Mercury. Here's Mercury on the map, so I can just show you that I'm not like making it up. There it is. There's Mercury. And there's how close it is. They say it's 65 miles from Mercury down the 95 to Las Vegas. 65 is 11, meaning a gateway. So the gateway is another number 11. So that's Las Vegas. Now they say Mercury could have got its name because of mercury mining. Is that a coincidence that there is all this mercury tied in with Vegas and its founding? As you can see, Mercury, Nevada, a town 65 miles northwest of Las Vegas, is the gateway to Nevada test site, known as the Nevada National Security Site. There is no evidence as to how Mercury was named, but legend says that an unknown miner, so someone unnamed, named it. What are you calling this town today? We'll call it Mercury. What's your name? I'm sorry, I'm unnamed. Whatever. So they're saying an unnamed miner worked in the Calico Hills in 1850 mining mercury bearing ore, right? So they named it Mercury after that. Let's have a look where Mercury is on the map. You just saw it there. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There you go. There it is on the map. And have a look where the Calico Hills is. You're talking 60 odd miles away. So why would that be named up there? It is crazy. So Mercury is, look how close it is. Where they were mining mercury from Vegas. You're talking in the mountains at the side. The Calico Hills, tied with mercury. Now, you're talking Nevada's mines account for the most of the mercury released into the environment in the United States, but the site is no longer number one when it comes to release of toxic substances, according to an annual report released last week by the Federal Environment Protection Agency. Alaska moved it to number one. So you have mercury being released from that area, mercury, and then you go to the maps, and it's been mined in Calico Hills. Can you see me pointing out how mercury, the god of thievery, money, luck, commerce, so much more, and they founded Las Vegas on May the 15th, Mercury's festival day in Rome, and you have not only Mercury tied to it, you have a town called Mercury, which is the gateway to the nuclear testing site and the name of the town. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. Right guys, so we got some more Mercury link here. Now I found this, a silver dish, and as you can see, Mercury sitting on a rock carrying his caduceus, and it's got a rooster, a tortoise, or a goat, sometimes a ram. Now this is what I'm going to tie in, and I just found it interesting that these things I can find round Las Vegas or in Nevada. Now is that a coincidence or is it planned that way? Now I'll share it with you now. I'll see what you actually think. So carrying on from that, Mercury, if you Google Mercury, the god Mercury, you will see he's always associated and wearing red. Now he just said he was sitting on his rock. I've already showed you that the mine for Mercury, red and Mercury together is cinnabar, the ore, and they mine it around Las Vegas. I'll show you some pictures. Now it's just strange, isn't it, the talk of red Mercury and the theorising of what actually red mercury is. Is it actually is it true what they say about it? And it's always found in old TVs or radios, communication devices. He is a messenger of the gods. And you had a rooster. Well, there is a famous rooster in Las Vegas, and it was for swingers. And as you can see from the pictures, then you have I know these are far stretch, but then you have the tortoise, the desert tortoise surrounds Vegas, Nevada. You then have a ram, and then you have bighorns or goats, whatever you want to call these animals. But there is the main animals that appeared on the rock with Mercury, and you can find them happily around Vegas and Nevada. And that red mercury, is there anything in it? I just don't know, but I had to show you guys. So to carry on with that, as you can see from this little image I took off a map, you can see there's more roosters, cafes, the Red Rooster Swingers Club. You have Tiny Tortoise Street, named after a tortoise. Tortoise. And then you have Goat Sports Bar, and if you don't like that, you got an actual place called Ramcliffe's Place. So is it a coincidence that the major animals associated with Mercury are in fact found in Vegas itself? Again, I'll leave that up to you guys. And let's not forget, they've also got a street named after Mercury himself, Mercury Street, right there in Vegas, right near the Lucky Club. What was he god of again? Oh, luck. So remember they had a shooting. We all remember that one. I can't say too much because obviously it'll get stopped. But do you remember the the horn symbol at the side. Now if you look, and this is a huge stretch, I know, some people will see it, some people won't. I've showed a few people they've seen it, but I guess people see different things. But does it not look like the Mercury symbol with the horns? Because you can get them with horns, as you can see from the picture. Does it not look the same? When I saw the devil horns, I thought, you know what, I do know the Mercury alchemic symbol has horns, so could it just be that? I'll leave it up to you guys. So we have the Space Force flag here, unveiled by Donald Trump, May the 15th, 2020. Founding of Las Vegas, May the 15th. Mercuralia, Mercury's festival day. Is that too much of a coincidence? But wait, doesn't that logo and flag represent and look like something else we've seen? Oh wait, yeah, Starfleet. Now, something is a flagship of Starfleet. What is the ship called now? Oh, Enterprise. So we've had it different varieties over the years. I've just put a collection here of Enterprise. Now, is there an Enterprise in Las Vegas? Oh wait, there is. There we go. Just off Las Vegas, Enterprise, town in Nevada. Now you might be asking, what else? So when you look at the Space Force flag, what do you notice? And I'm zooming in now. Yep, it's the star, the actual star they actually picked to use. Now ask yourself, have you seen that star before? Oh, wait, it's on the famous Las Vegas welcome sign. Just a coincidence that, guys. What we've got here, we've got the Saturday Post 200 years. Now, I've blacked the screen out, or just covered it because I want it to be like da da da. So I'm just going to briefly talk. Now what you're going to see now is what this paper have labelled, and we know words are spells. So if people get on the trigger side and say, oh, why are you doing this? It's not this, it's not this. I'm just showing you what this article has said, and it ties in beautifully to what the point I'm trying to make. Now, you just seen that about the Space Force, the flag, the Enterprise, the link to Las Vegas, and in this video about Mercury. So, this paper have said a certain name, America's first Space Force, in 1959, right? 7 men became instant American heroes. All they would have to do would be to go where no man has gone before. Oh wait, we've heard that in Star Trek. We remember blank 7. Now I'm going to show you now, I'll unveil it. So whatever I've done to cover it, hopefully it's worked. So there you have it, guys. Mercury 7, America's first Space Force. So he's made a new Space Force before he left office. And the first one they've labelled the Space Force is called Mercury 7. And there we go. In 1959, the first people to go where no one has gone before. That's a Star Trek motto. And say at the beginning, the Mercury 7. There you have it, guys. There is another link between it all. You might think it's a far stretch, but I'm just like, no way. And then now I'm going to just show you various other NASA stuff that's tied in around that area and in Nevada to tie it all nicely together. So there you have it, guys. The Mercury 7, the first Space Force. So here's Project Mercury 7's logo. So obviously the alchemic symbol. Here's the mission patches, as you can see. Mercury 7, the various ones, and we have pins coming up. It's just crazy, isn't it, to think of when I'm linking the Space Force to NASA missions and we have Mercury so involved, and obviously his other patch here. Just thought it was interesting to show you. And here they are, Project Mercury. The astronauts are in all the regalia, the silver suits. Silver. Now, what colour is Mercury again when it's at like room temperature, when it's when it's been made into the liquid? Because obviously it comes from cinnabar and various other things. But silver Mercury, which usually appears as a thick silvery fluid, is the only metal that liquid at room temperature. Its element symbol is Hg, which comes from the Greek word hydrogerum, meaning liquid silver. In fact, it's also called quicksilver. So there you go, guys. Just some more in your face, the silver suits in regard to the Mercury substance. So a few interesting things in regard to space and planets and all that, and NASA training sites. Here you have Kubrick's moon. And as you can quite see, it's in Nevada. They actually class it as a museum, but you can just quite see. Let's see if it won't be in 2D or 3D. So if you go to 3D, what do you notice? It has all the craters of the moon. So I'm assuming we know what's been going on here. Teapot crater, scooter crater. So, you know, they're all named. And this is in the middle of Nevada too. Kubrick's moon. And you can look at the surface. And probably not far from here as well is the test site that I was referring to earlier in the video. But just have a look at that. It is crazy. This has been pummeled to create a moon. See, there's an airstrip not far from it. So there's not too much around this area. As you can see, Yucca airstrip. It's interesting, isn't it? Nevada National Security Site in the middle of a hill. There we go. Will it give you a picture? There you go. Nevada National Security Site, known as the Nevada Test Site until August 23rd, 2010. So this is where they did, I'm assuming, the tests for, obviously, that what I mentioned before. But what else are they doing? So you can see it. It's very interesting, isn't it? The craters. Just look at it. Mad and Kubrick's moon. You know, about him filming the mission to Mars, mission to the moon and all that. Well, this is where he's probably done it. Why name it after him? So there you go, guys. What's it? Will it give me a name of the complex? Looks like it's destroyed or moved on, whatever it was. But we know the train here, the training here for the so-called mission to Mars. There's only you can so much do with this software, especially when you're on an older raggedy computer like mine. What's interesting as well is nearby, let me just get to recent searches. So you can see the distance from here, it's not that far. Nearby to that, you have this, another NASA training site. Let's see what this one's called, if it'll show us. Let me put it in 2D. It might show us now. They don't like showing you. Ah, there we go. Mars. So this is where the training to go to Mars. This is a Mars site for NASA, middle of nowhere. Again, as you can see. Looks like what we're getting back now in footage when people talk about Thingy's Island in Antarctica and North Pole, Alaska, Mongolia. We've had all these locations. Once if you're just getting it straight from home, from Vegas, from Nevada. And then the other one is just below. I think this is it. There we go. So there you go, there's Mars, and it's moving to this test site, which is Apollo. So you have Apollo, you have Mercury, you have Kubrick's moon, you have Mars, and these are the ones I just found. Like I said, I could go on all day looking through this, and if you have time, I'll show any more that I found. I find, but you know what, guys, we know. I don't like making them too long because, you know, your time is precious, but I just find it fascinating that I've got this tie to space mission, the Space Force, Mercury being the first, and this Las Vegas and Nevada being a federal state. What better way to control it when you control the land. So you have all these bases and training centres to NASA in the desert. Right guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little snippet show of all the craters for Kubrick's moon. I forgot to actually talk about this, so I'm just recapping on this. And this is known as Sedan crater, and this is where they so-called tested one of the nuclear or high explosive ordnances to create what is known as the Sedan crater. I'll put pictures on the screen so that you can actually see, but just look at the size of it. Let me just measure what it is across. It is 400 meters across, 414-ish across, which in feet is 1,359 feet. And obviously it's not going to be in miles or anything, just meters, 440 meters. So you can see this is a test site, obviously then with all the craters of the moon, Kubrick's moon. But also it got me thinking, when you see it, it does look like an event that not long happened in Beirut. Is this like the precursor type of ordnance that they used at that site to create this crater, similar to that crater? It's just a thought and a little bit I thought, you know what, I'm going to add to this video. So see what you guys think about that. So you remember me showing you the arches that's not long been put in near the Strat, and I've talked about how they use arches to siphon energy in various videos, and my last one was the Bod City's arches. Oh my. But what's interesting, and just one of those funny anomalies, I can't say coincidences anymore, but have a guess who runs the entertainment basically and the hotel, the Strat Hotel. It's none other than Red Mercury Entertainment. Now tell me, what is the odds of keep getting this Red Mercury, Las Vegas? It is getting strangely now predictable in a way that is hidden in plain sight, like an agenda. Just thought I'd share that a little bit with you, because you know what, I was like, no way, don't tell me it's another Red Mercury. I've talked about different Dante's Inferno and different things in various videos, but obviously I'm researching for videos to see what I can find, and it comes to this page, and it's just basically the 9 spheres of Dante's Paradiso or Paradise. And all these things are in Vegas. So this could be one of the questions. They're either are in Vegas, were in Vegas, or are to be in Vegas. So I have to make that quite clear. Or in Nevada, around it. So in the state. I have to be clear, because people could be looking for these and thinking, oh, I can't find it. So that's what I want to make clear. How crazy is that all these are in Vegas? Are they trying to set it up like a Dante's Paradise? Or what are they exactly trying to do with all this stuff that I'm finding in Vegas and in Nevada? It's just a strange energy place for sure. So you can see 9 spheres of heavens, Dante's Paradiso. I'm not going to read it all out, because like I said, we'll be here all day. And I'm not one for that. Paradiso, English heaven, paradise, is the third and the last section of Dante's epic poem of Divine Comedy. In it, the Italian poet describes his journey through heaven, the things he sees and the people he encounters on the way. So, on the way to the so-called Empyrean, the true home of God, saints, angels and the souls of the faithful. He is accompanied by Beatrice, identified as Dante's love of life, Beatrice Portinario, who guides him through the 9 spheres of heaven. Right, in Vegas, there is a paradise. It's basically near on the strip. I'll put a map on the screen. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly read each sphere out and just show you Dante's Paradiso. So that's not even number 1. But we say paradise. And there's the map on the screen now. The first sphere, the moon. So he's basically talking about when entering the realm of heaven, Dante and Beatrice enter the first sphere of heaven, or the moon. Here they see the souls of those who have failed to keep their vows, including the sister of Dante's friend, Ferese Donate. So basically, remember when I was telling you about what Mercury does? He controls souls, so the underworld. I mean, he's number 2. But the moon, there is a planned hotel and casino and resort, and it's the moon, and I'll just put a picture on the screen, and that's what they want to build. But I could find a place called the Moon Pool or the Moon Temple or the Moon Casino or something like that in Vegas. I just wanted to find something significant instead of just saying, oh, there's a little pool or a little thing there. So that is what they're trying to build. And then there's various other moon things that I could find, but I'm not going to go all the way through them. So there is the first one, moon. The second sphere, Mercury, well, that goes basically answered. I've showed you a lot of Mercury in Vegas. They have roads, streets, but also remember the Red Rock. Well, it's around. Well, I don't think it's around, but it's on one side, Red Rock Canyon. So there's even that. So that one's easy. Oh, is that word exploranity or something? I can't pronounce it sometimes. Me with long words. Now the third sphere. This third sphere of heaven, or Venus, is home to the souls of lovers who earn their place in heaven with their love for God and humanity. Well, we have the Venetian Hotel. And Venetian Hotel, not the Venus of Italy, is Venice. So there is that link. Right? So we've got that little link. And there also is Venus pools and Venus and other things in Vegas that I could have used. The fourth sphere, the sun. Well, there was the Sun Casino and Resort. I think it's been knocked down now. I'm not quite sure. Pictures on the screen, just like the Venetian then. So you can see where I'm going with this. How we have each one of these. Mars. The fifth sphere of heaven, or Mars, is home to the holy warriors, whose souls are forming the shape of the cross. And we have, this is the only one that there's nothing there, well, not there, planned again. It's called Mars World, and it's planned to have a Mars scenario. You know what I mean? Like Mars. Well, we've also got Mars in Nevada itself, haven't I? I've just showed you that, so technically I could have used that, but I wanted to try and find stuff nearer the strip. Obviously the other one I can't, but I'm explaining as I'm going. So you could either have Mars that we actually seen on the map in Nevada, or we could be talking about this Mars world that's planned to come in. Number 6, Jupiter. The sixth sphere of heaven, or Jupiter, is inhabited by the souls of just rulers. They spell out the Latin phrase diligite aestuum qui intercatus terram, English, cherish justice, you who judge the earth. Well, there is a Jupiter casino. I'll put the picture on the screen. You know what I mean? So you basically, there's 6 things. Seventh sphere, Saturn. In the seventh sphere of heaven, the Saturn, Dante encounters the spirits of people who dedicated their lives to prayer, climbing up and down a golden ladder. Well, casinos for gold. But this could have been I could have used this for any. There used to be a resort called Stardust. I think it's got knocked down now. It got demolished. But they had 6 motels on the site, and one of them was called Saturn. There was also a Venus. There was also a Mercury and Mars. So I could have used that for any of them. So again, there was things on the strip. I'll show a picture on the screen now. 8th sphere, the fixed star. Dante and Beatrice entered the 8th sphere of heaven, or fixed stars, in the constellation of Gemini. Here the poet and his guide see the Virgin Mary and other biblical saints, including the Apostle Peter, John and James. So really, which one we on? The stars. Now, they used to have Star Trek The Experience. Yes, that is stretching it. But hey, you know what I mean? Video is my prerogative to try and fix some up. So yeah, there used to be a Star Trek Experience in a hotel on the strip. I think it's closed now. Now this is, I could have used the main star, but I'm using this for number 9, and you'll see why. The 9th sphere, the primum mobile. The last of the 9 spheres of heaven, or the primum mobile, is also the last stop before the empyrean and the last of the physical heavens, as the empyrean is beyond space and time. Now, this is interesting. If I show you a picture, and it's on the screen now, that is the exact same star that is on the Las Vegas "Welcome to Las Vegas" sign. That is also one of the Burning Man, and what planned, I don't know if they actually did it because of this pandemic, but it's part of the Burning Man, and I'll show you now on the screen. As you can see, Burning Man reveals 2020 temple, and it's in Black Rock City, which is in Nevada desert, and the choice for this year is the Imperium. And there you go, that's the picture that you've seen, and that's what they plan to burn down. So let me just zoom out because it's too big. There is all them in Las Vegas or in Nevada. Now, what could this be a coincidence? I mean, when you come to this scale, it could quite be, but could it be planned? Who knows? I just find it fascinating when I'm showing you all this stuff in regards to Las Vegas and Nevada, that I could find 9 spheres of heaven in regard to Dante's Paradiso or Paradise. Now, you can make it, you know, what you will. I just found it fascinating and interesting tidbit to show you guys. So there you go. Oh, dear me God. So lastly, let's go back to the sign, the welcome sign. You see the star, but I also see Inanna or Ishtar star. They are identical to me. Now, what's funny, and is it a coincidence again, Captain Marvel has the Inanna or Ishtar star on a costume, you can see it though, what I'm showing on screen. Now, the character is connected to Nellis Air Force Base, and Nellis Air Force Base is in Nevada. Funny hand sign there. And you can just see it from the example I showed. Nellis Air Force Base welcomes new officer Captain Marvel. Anyway, let's go back to this star of Inanna or Ishtar. What was famous about Las Vegas is known as Sin City. Now, I'll give you a few seconds. Now, Inanna or Ishtar, or whatever way you want to look at it, has a father. A father is called Nana. Now, have a guess what his other name is. I'll give you a few seconds and then I'll show it you. Yep, guys, his name is Sin. So there we have it, guys. A funny little connection to finish this video before my thoughts. So from the star to Marvel to Inanna's dad, the moon god, is Sin City. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, guys, and my thoughts are coming up now.
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep. I'm running wild while you're asleep. That's why they call me the black sheep.
Hello, welcome. Right, guys, I'm going to make this short, and the reason is, like, I've tried to make this video so many times. I've been disturbed. You know what it's like. Every time I make a video, it's like marching bands, phone going, knocking at the door, parcels. It's just like, I can't get for going, and I'm like, you just get so tired of repeating the same old thing. And then, so you're getting it. No matter how crap I come up with now in my thoughts, you're getting this one. And what a video. I didn't know I was going to make this video. It all came down with people messaging me asking where the video for Las Vegas is that you're talking about, the etymology. And here you go, you've got it. You've seen how it's talking about entering into an agreement, being tied into an agreement. What they're agreeing to, what is going on. The founding of the town, city on May the 15th, which is Mercury, the Roman festival, who's got of thieves, luck, communication and everything else. That is basically Vegas in one pot. That to me, just like, wow. And then I found all the Mercury links, even in mining, street names, towns in regard to nuclear testing. And yes, I know nuclear testing bombs are fake. But I have to show this film together and just to show you what is going on in Vegas, Area 51, the things that I missed out, like in Hoover Dam. I might do a standalone on that eventually. But it's just crazy that this place that has place names like Kubrick, obviously Stanley Kubrick after him, because he's supposedly made the moon landing mission. And yes, I know the moon landing mission's fake. See, you have to say all these things for people get triggered. But you know what I mean? It's crazy that you have this, and on the Google Maps it shows you the craters. You had the Sedan crater that they did one of the tests for high ordnance weapons. And could that be a precursor for what's going on and being used in Beirut now and other places? It just makes you think, on land that's owned by the federal government, so many things in this one state. Is it because they own it and it's easy to, departmentalise? I mean, you've got Nellis Air Force Base, Air Force Area 51. You have other Nevada security sites. And you just come into a thought like, wow, there's so much going on in this town and this state. And there's so much that I didn't include, because how long do I make a video? I've made videos now with all the information in, and people have just forgot what I've put in. And you haven't got the time to keep going back through and remembering. So I'm trying to make these videos more specialised in the sense of, compacting them and getting the points, only being so many points in it. And I'll get there. But just wow. I mean, we're talking about Mercury. His temple in Rome is in the Circus Maximus, which is, where they do the chariot racing and different things like that. Now, in Caesar's Palace, they have a Mercury showroom in the Circus Maximus. So that I didn't put that in. So there's so much. There's stuff of other things I didn't put in. It's just crazy. It has to be just itching me back. It has to be more. See, dog's barking now. We should have a few machine guns. There has to be more to this being tied to Mercury than even I am coming to, because wow. There's just too much. And like I said, I'm going to keep my thoughts and let the video speak for itself. Just say thank you for everyone who's watched, supported me on my journey so far. And anyone that's watching at home, like I say, I do appreciate you guys that don't come in the chat, because obviously you're watching it from a different time. And I'll try and do different time premieres as I go on, just trying to fit in through my lifestyle. It's pretty hard at the minute. So we had Dante's Paradise, and I know that can be tied to a lot of places because they will have a lot of these street names. But when you find everything in main resorts that they want in, was in, or even in street names, so come on. That is crazy. I just thought that was wow. Especially the Imperium, which is a Burning Man event held in Las Vegas in Black Rock City Desert. And that is the shape of the star that's on the welcome. And then obviously I tied that then to Inanna or Ishtar. And her father is Nana or Sin City. Come on. Even the people who don't think there's a connection has to be. There's something to this. All that information cannot just be what is classed as a coincidence. And people scream, oh, come on, there's no coincidence. I just find it fascinating. And all the stuff linked to Mars missions, the Apollo missions, the training bases. Come on, there is so much going on. Space Force flag came out on that date, tying it to the founding of the Roman Festival for Mercury and Las Vegas. Las Vegas did have a Starfleet Enterprise experience. The flags, the logos are identical. The star on the Star Force logo again is Inanna, Captain Mark. All that what I've put in. There's just too much information sometimes in a video to remember, but just wow. I mean, there's even Mercury in neon lights. It's like overload, and Renaissance painting, medieval paintings use cinnabar, which is red mercury. But as soon as you say red mercury, we're obviously thinking of red mercury then, and all the things that go along with that. Is it fake? Is it real? I've seen all so much different footage on that. But I'm going to leave it there because, you know, the video speaks for itself. And the boiling question that I will try and finish on now is, what is going on? We're talking about the arches being put into siphon energy. I mean, we can only see in a certain frequency, so we can't see in certain lights what's going on. Is our actual, because obviously we're bioluminescence ourselves, but our eyes can't see it. So is that energy being drawn out and it's coming out and it's being drawn off? Bit like, in a way, Percy Jackson film. He got stuck in that hotel because he took the cake. Is that why Las Vegas has been tied into agreement of pure harnessing our personas, our masks, our fears, our love, our anger, our sin? And this is like the melting pot. And they're trying to draw the energy. They're trying to open up gateways or portals. Is this energy so the people in hell, the souls, because obviously linked with Mercury has, I mean, Mercury's Greek counterpart is Hermes or Hermes, however you want to put up with it. So there's so many things you could have looked at this video differently, but there's only so much time in a day and there's only so many topics that you can put in, like I always say, and I believe I've done this. I left out obviously Hoover Dam and I might go back to that in the future, but so much information showing you there's something going on in this city or town, because I just call them town, but in these towns, in these places. We talk about circuit board cities. I've obviously did circuit board cities arches on my video where I brought in a new theory about and not gates. Different types of arches are feeding different types of energy to different types of gods, and we saw how many god names are linked with resorts. There's stuff I didn't even go into about pools and different things. It's crazy, this place. And this is why it is one big melting pot and why it's made. Is a certain points I didn't even look on if this was on a ley line. So, you know what I mean? This is some of the things that we have to think about. And if this is world is like a stage and such, is this like Las Vegas is definitely a place like Westworld where it's all a storyline. And it's just like a different bubble, and people have told me who have lived there that it has a weird feeling in that town. They just can't put the finger on it. And there's so much that we didn't even see below, you know, beneath the neon. The mole people living in the flood tunnels. You can't, you know, chalk and cheese. It's like a different, you know, realm beneath the ground. It sounds like Dante's Inferno and Dante's Paradise. There's different levels. We talk. I mean, there's so much to talk about, and then also you've had shootings and different things like that, and the horns that symbol that was on that, it looks like a Mercury symbol. So there's so much that could go on, and I'm just going over what we've been in the video. So I'm going to call it a day. Hopefully you guys will have a brilliant week or weekend whenever this comes out. And I just so appreciate you guys, and I'm going to see you in the chat. And please, you know, anyone who doesn't appear in the chat, I'm so thankful for your support. Please give it a thumbs up. Please promote the channel because you are a part of it. And please just, you know, help the channel grow. That it is. It's growing rapidly. And people are finding me through you guys. And I'm so proud to be amongst you guys and in the chat. So remember, stay safe. Don't bother about being sane. We're all crazy. We don't get out alive anyway. Remember to the sign at the top behind me. Remember, the best thing is always wear a smile. Let people see you smile because it does help. Pay it forward and just be a good person. And I'm going to see you in the chat. Finally, I've done it without too much interference. Honestly, guys, I'm going to say it's been crazy. My phone's been going off. Door going, parcels, you name it, drums, people fixing the car, revving the engines. It's like I should have a sign, a big, you know, luminescent neon sign outside the house saying live. I bet they would do it more. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and please just give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it. I'll see you in the chat. I'll see the reaction. Hopefully you've enjoyed this different take on what Las Vegas is, from etymology to the Mercury link. Take care, guys. And I don't want to leave now, but I'm going. Bye, guys.